First and foremost, for those that may not know what Dead Cells is a roguelite Castlevania-inspired action platformer from independent developer Motion Twin. It allows you to explore a sprawling, ever-changing castle, assuming you're able to fight your way past its keepers. To beat the game, you'll have to master a 2D Souls-like combat with the ever-present threat of permadeath looming. No checkpoints. Kill, die, learn, repeat. With that being said, here's what Dead Cells taught me about life. It's okay to fail. If there's one thing to take away from Dead Cells, it's that it's okay to fail. With RNG running rampant in the game, it can be really rewarding or downright defeating. Sometimes you get that amazing loadout with awesome synergies that gets you farther than ever, while other times you're lucky to find one piece of gear that works in favor of your playstyle. For most of my life, I've been afraid of failure. I'd run through possible scenarios in my head to try to find the best or sometimes easiest outcome. I'd do this so much that I'd drive myself crazy trying to figure out what the best plan of attack was, inevitably deciding that no action was the best option, because surely I couldn't fail if I didn't start, right? That couldn't be more farther from the truth. An old high school history instructor once told me that Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, failed 7 times before taking office. Albert Einstein once defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I never really put much value into that because somewhere I didn't believe that anyone would willingly fail that many times to achieve what they so passionately wanted. Which brings me to, persistence is key. Dead Cells is one of those games that gets under your skin, and I don't mean that in a bad way. The very first time I played it, my character died early on and I was forced to start all the way back at the very start. I thought, my god, this is difficult. Now normally this would be the point where I'd put the controller down, say forget it and never touch it again. But there was something about the game that pulled me in. I'm not certain whether it was the beautiful art style, the epic soundtrack, or that I wanted to know more about the character's backstory. Either way, I was determined to get farther, and I decided to have another go. This time, I got most of the way through the second biome, and lo and behold, my run was cut short by an enemy whose attack I didn't expect. Back to the start to try again. Remember that Einstein quote? The one about insanity being the act of doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results? This was the poster child for that quote. Or so I thought. What makes Dead Cells unique is that the layout of the levels are never the same. They're randomly generated, so each time your character dies, it's a whole new experience. This may very well be what kept me wanting to play it. The curiosity of what was going to happen next if I got a little further pulled me in, and I was hooked. Through playing Dead Cells, I've also learned that variety is the spice of life. In Dead Cells, trying new things or approaching things in a different way can be the key to succeeding. It's easy for us to get caught in a routine. We find comfort in knowing what works for us and what doesn't, and when something comes along and disrupts that, it can be a bit jarring for some. This is especially true for me. I like routine. I like things a certain way, and when it becomes something out of my control, I tend to get overwhelmed. The longer I played Dead Cells, the more items I unlocked to be used in future runs. This enabled me to change my character's loadout and experiment with new and different playstyles. It also helped to build a sense of confidence. I really started to feel like I was progressing, which in turn made me want to continue playing it. Through this process, I've come to find out that I actually like a little bit of variety every now and then. Much like Dead Cells, in life, having the ability to adapt to change, especially sudden change, is what keeps life interesting. Having confidence in your actions. Dead Cells is a game that exploits your indecision. Will that new weapon or item help you or hinder you in your runs? Will opening that cursed chest reward you with great gear, or will it send you back to the start with one strike from an enemy? The game does this in such a way that for me has given me what some call choice paralysis. As stated earlier, I'd get so hung up on the this or that I would sit there confounded, never reaching a decision. For example, if I decide that it's better to hold on to 3 sips of healing potion rather than use one when my character's life bar is at 10%, The game will let me know whether my intuition was right or wrong with the next enemy I'd face. Dead Cells has helped me overcome my indecisiveness. In this game, every decision has an outcome, some good, some bad. It's up to us as players to muster up that confidence, take a leap of faith, and roll with it. The same can be said about life. Sometimes we're given choices that can lead us one way or another, not knowing the outcome until we try. Being confident in our decisions gets us farther because the longer we take to reach a decision, the more time indecision will haunt us. Playing this game for hours upon hours, I've come to realize that these things are true about life. If we accept the fact that we might fail, having the perseverance to continue even when the odds are stacked against us, being able to adapt to change when it's out of our comfort zone, and having the confidence in ourselves and our actions is the only way you get anywhere in life. It's been a very introspective journey, and I can honestly say that I don't think I've ever played a game that made me turn inward as much as Dead Cells has. Maybe that was the developer's intention, maybe not. But what I've gained from playing it has had a profound effect on the way I look at myself and the world in ways that are far different than my mindset was before giving this game a try. This is why Dead Cells will always hold a special place in my heart. To Motion Twin, if you're out there, I want to say thank you for making one of the coolest games I've ever played.